So here we go. Wizards of the Coast reportedly threatens jail time against a player who has accidentally but legally sold upcoming Magic the Gathering set ahead of official street date. All right, let me help you out. If a private company is threatening you with jail time, you can go ahead and just say, fuck off to the company. Like, you can just do that. You can say, you know what? You can fuck right off. They cannot do that. Like, there's no way that Wizards of the Coast can put you in jail. Now, you may have other interests, right? Like, this guy is a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, and he could be worried that what happened to Jeremy Hambley, quartering, would happen to him, where Jeremy got banned from like all Magic official events, and he had to kind of refocus and rebrand his channel. Although, interestingly, I think that worked out really well for him, and I think his channel is much stronger after that than it was before that. I think Magic the Gathering was kind of a limited audience for him. And now that he's moved into broader pop culture commentary, his channel's gone up way, way bigger than it was. But that being said, any private company's like, we're going to put you in jail. You're like, fuck you. You're like, try it. Walk in my house and receive a bullet. They can't come in. They can't do anything to you. They can't arrest you. First of all, there's no probable cause that this guy committed a crime. So even the cops can't do anything to him. What are they going to say? He's got Magic cards that we haven't released yet. And, well, he had to have stolen them. Prove he stole them. What makes you think he stole them? Well, do you have video of him stealing them? Do you have a report of him stealing them? Who are you, by the way? Oh, we're a private third-party detective company hired by Wizards of the Coast to intimidate people and to take their stuff. Oh, okay. Let's read this. Seemingly intent on taking home the title of worst tabletop company of all time, Wizards of the Coast has reportedly responded to a Magic the Gathering player being accidentally sold a booster box of the game's upcoming set ahead of its official release by employing the services of a particular private security firm to forcefully recover the product. Set to release on May 12th, March of the Machine: The Aftermath follows up its eponymous predecessor with a total of 50 new cards, each of which serve not only expand players' options in the game itself, but also close out its current multiverse-altering storyline. However, unfortunately for Wizards of the Coast, but surprising for the player himself, a booster box of the upcoming set was accidentally sold to Magic the Gathering YouTuber Dan Old School MTG Cannon roughly 2 weeks ahead of its release date. So, again, this guy orders a box of Magic the Gathering cards. He gets a box of unreleased cards. That's not his fault. Even if he had ordered the unreleased box and it comes early, that's not his fault, right? He orders and pays for the product. He gets the product. There's no crime in that. Nothing can be construed as a criminal act. There's no accidental crime. It violates all of the concepts of criminal law that are required. Intent, the criminal mindset, mens rea, things like that have to happen for a crime to occur. I don't think Wizards can even articulate what the crime might have been here. They just assumed he must have somehow did he jetpack in to the factory through a skylight, steal one box of booster packs, go and jetpack out? Like, what is the theory behind how he accomplished this feat of theft from Magic? Like, what? What is the idea here? How do you get access to him, bro? Oh, well, we shipped him out to... Oh, wait, I see. So they, allegedly, this is what happens, and they assume that he steals them. All right. In response, the publisher reportedly hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency, the very same private security firm who once patrolled the Wild West, to raid Cannon's house and retrieve his legally purchased cards. According to Cannon, who recalled his experiences in a YouTube video uploaded to his channel on April 22nd, quote, after I got done with the video reviewing the March of the Machine, the aftermath leaks, the dogs start barking because somebody's knocking at the door. And my wife's answering the door, and it was the Pinkertons. Again, answer the door with a gun. Answer the door with a fucking gun. Back off. They come knocking on the door to recover the stolen product from Wizards of the Coast, which is, of course, the March of the Machine, the aftermath sets. He explained, it wasn't stolen product. To clear the record, as far as I know, nothing was stolen. What I believe happened, Cannon then speculated, was that the names are too similar. March of the Machine and March of the Machine, the aftermath. And somebody screwed up and sent out the wrong cases to the gentleman I bought the boxes off of. Because when he sold me the stuff, he said he was selling me a March of the Machines collector's box, not aftermath. He's not a Magic guy. He's more a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh guy, I believe, the YouTuber added. He just does all the card games. He didn't know what aftermath really was, I don't think, so I don't think he stole anything. I think he was just, he got the cases thinking they were March of the Machines, sold them thinking they were March of the Machines. I bought them thinking they were March of the Machines, and I didn't know until after I'd given him the money and opened the box and looked at the boxes inside that they were aftermath. So it probably comes, I guess it's in like a, like a brown shipping box of some sort. He opens it up and the branded packages are inside, maybe. I don't know. I have never bought boxes of Magic cards. I bought Magic cards 26 years ago. That game is old as fuck, and I was late to it, right? Like I was in the edition with the white borders. It was after Legends, before the cold one, and during the desert one. God, shit's been around forever. And I looked at them. I looked at the cards not too long ago. Oh, well, I did just buy some Magic cards not too long ago, but the only ones I bought were the 4 Warhammer packs that they had, the 4 Commander boxes for Warhammer 40K, because I buy 40K stuff, so they had the crossover. So I bought those. But I've looked at the cards lately, and I don't even understand how the game is played anymore. It's a fucking, like, all the rules are different. It's a disaster. There's all this new stuff. There's like Planeswalkers and Commander cards. I don't even know what those do. It's very weird. Don't know anything about it. I just bought them. Again, I bought the 4 Commander packs for the 40K crossover. A-Wig says, playing Magic the Gathering 26 years ago, I now fully accept you were a virgin when you met your wife. Well, yeah, even though I had sold all of my Magic cards about 4 years before I met her. But I sold them all for $50. It's really a damn shame. I had a whole shitload of dual lands. Those are worth like $400 a piece now or something ridiculous. All those cards, man. All gone. But I really wanted that $50, and I really didn't want to have any Magic cards anymore. So here we go. From there, Cannon said, the Pinkertons actually gave me a number to somebody at Wizards of the Coast who was asking them to have me call them. So I did. Why? What? Why? What? When a company sends a hired thug to my house and says, here's a number, you better call him, I'm going to say, cool, close the door, lock the door, call the police, throw the card away, like the number. Again, fuck off. Like, go away. You can't come to my house. You have no right to be on my property. Leave immediately or I call the police. Oh, we'll call the police. Oh, good. I will too. Leave. And I'm going to get my gun. Get off. But I'm certainly not calling Wizards of the Coast after they just sent intimidation men to my house. No, just call us. Just call us. Just call us. So I did, he says. I called Wizards of the Coast and talked to a gentleman there who was very nice and very apologetic about making my wife cry first thing in the morning by sending these lawmen, they're not lawmen, to come collect stuff and talk about stolen products and jail time and all this other stuff. Your wife is crying. Well, I better call these guys. No, you don't have to call these people. What the? Oh. This is why. Yeah, who just said that? Who said that? Valhalla says strong arming nerds has worked for generations. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, don't be sorry. You didn't do anything wrong. Drives me absolutely insane. Character Holding says, is this the same Wizards of the Coast that declared race mixing is racist? Well, I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, because they bought TSR, right? So, yes, they did. They did. So, yeah, he's very, very sorry about, they literally sent thugs to this guy's house. And then, well, we're very sorry that our thugs made you cry, but they don't believe we stole anything, which we didn't. Oh, right. That's why they sent thugs to your house to threaten you. He remarked, I don't know if they believe anyone actually stole anything or if it was just an accident or whatever. But they wanted the product back so they could try and figure out where the hole was. They could plug the hole. Yeah, again, take me to court on that one. I dare you. I'll come after you for fucking fees. First of all, get a harassment restraining order against Wizards of the Coast for sending agents to your house to intimidate your wife about something you didn't do. Second of all, sue them for emotional distress. Third of all, make them take them back. Because by the time that case even sees that they sue and they get to court, it'll be moot because the case it'll be released. So what are they going to do? How are they going to get the cards back from you unless you give them to them? There's no way. Because, see, the only claim that Magic the Gathering, that Wizards of the Coast has right now, is that there's unreleased intellectual property. And they may have a claim on his YouTube videos. But he admits later he took those down. They asked him to take the YouTube videos down. He did. They may have a claim on those because it's unpublished, technically, unreleased. They have a little bit of a stronger copyright claim. Maybe. Depends on the commentary. If they have intellectual property in his review of a Magic card, might be sufficiently transformative. But again, their claim is only strong so long as it remains unreleased. By the time they grind through the courts, it's going to moot out the overwhelming majority of cases they have because they will have been released and he won't have done any harm. It's not like he can play unreleased cards in an official event. I would assume that's against the rules. So what are they going to do to him? You have our cards. I paid for them. Someone else got them. I assume he paid for them. I don't know. Talk to the guy who got them. So anyway, they wanted to plug the hole. And don't we all? We all just want to plug the hole, right? Those were exactly what his words were to me. The content creator continued. He did apologize, and they know that they took a lot of stuff that we had paid a lot of money for. And he actually said they're going to try and compensate us a little by sending us some other product and was asking me what kind of product I like and whatnot. Oh, you think they stole from you They stole from you by theft, artifice, intimidation, device. Like they committed, the Wizards of the Coast commit the crime here. I don't know if you know this, but if you go up to someone and threaten them with a criminal act for the purposes of extracting something that they lawfully acquired, you have committed a crime. Like that is the crime. That's the actual criminal thing that is done. If you go and take something through someone by saying that they committed a crime, sending thugs to their house, intimidating them, threatening them with whatever, and it's bullshit, that's theft. That's theft by trick, device, artifice, swindle. It's the law in every state. It's one of the oldest crimes ever, right? Swindling people out of stuff through deception, intimidation, fear. You're not allowed to do that. And so what they're trying to do now is cover their ass. Oh, fuck. We just stole a bunch of money effectively from this guy. Like he paid money for this stuff. We stole it from him. Now they have to give him something back. I mean, that actually doesn't ameliorate the crime. Like, it's not like I could steal your car and just like give, well, I got another car that you can have, right? Like it doesn't fix it, but it might get him to not press charges and to maybe keep this a little quiet and they're trying to make amends here, but you can't do this shit. And it's amazing that they're sitting here accusing him of a crime when he's the victim of a criminal act by a major corporation using agents to do it. Very sad. Very sad this happened to someone who's so malleable. All right. He seemed very nice. Dude, you don't know if they're ever going to send you anything. Wizards of the Coast is not being very rude about it or anything. His wife was crying because these retards they sent were threatening him with jail time to his wife. But they're not being rude. Dude, they were rude. They came and they stole your stuff. Oh my God. They're being very cordial and apologizing that they had to go to drastic means by sending the Pinkertons to my front door. But they are asking if they can send me some product to make up for the loss of money. So we'll see what happens with that. Had to go to drastic means. Did they email you? Did they call you? Did they do anything before sending the thugs to the door? Like, their first step is to send thugs to the door. That was their first step. Not the last. Well, I guess it ends up being the last step, but it's not multiple steps down the path. You didn't refuse anything. This guy sucks. You have them by the balls. You have them. Let's see. And they still haven't sent you anything. You don't know if they ever will. As for his aforementioned videos reviewing the Aftermath packs he had open, Cannon noted, I did take the videos down as you've seen, and anybody who used my footage, you'll probably want to take that down. They're saying it's some kind of copyright infringement thing. Yeah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. They have a claim, maybe. Maybe. So if you used my footage or took screenshots of my video or anything, you probably want to remove that from your pages and from your sites. They did ask me to ask will you ask everybody to take that down? He elaborated. Nobody asked me permission to use my footage, or else I would have told them that you may not want to. I was uploading this stuff because I had it in my hand. Once more reiterating how, quote, I really feel that there is no wrongdoing on my behalf for or either the gentleman I got them from. Well, yeah, of course not. I could be wrong, but I really don't think it was stolen. I think it was just a mistake down the line. Cannon closed out his video by noting that ultimately, I no longer have the product. Quote, the Pinkertons took everything to take back to Wizards of the Coast, so they're now in possession of the product, he concluded. They counted every single card in every single booster pack. I don't even have any of the wrappers or that left. They took the empty boxes, the empty packs, everything. I don't even have a token to show for my efforts there. It has been a crazy ride the last few days. Just all of it. Just everything. They took it all. Later speaking to Kotaku, who also received direct confirmation from Wizards of the Coast that they had hired the Pinkertons as part of their investigation, Cannon further revealed that the agents who showed up to his house, quote, cited several statutes about copyright infringement and some other things, threatening 1 to 10 years in jail and up to $200,000 in fines if I failed to cooperate. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'll just say that straight out. Yes, copyright infringement, a violation of the criminal statute for copyright infringement, can carry up to 10 years in prison, and I think it's about $150,000 in fines. It's $250,000 for civil infractions. But they have to justify the $150,000 fine. If you spent $200 on a box of booster packs, they're not going to fine you $150,000 for copyright infringement and put you in prison for 1 to 10 years. In fact, you're not going to jail at all. You're not going to get criminally charged, most likely, and you're not going to get convicted if you are. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen at all. But if you were convicted, the fine has to be, because of the Eighth Amendment, it has to be consummate with the criminal act. Like, if you look at murder convictions, right? People who murder someone, they get fined like 10 grand and get 30 years in prison. Even a murderer doesn't get a $150,000 fine. Now, copyright infringement, if it is damaging to the victim to the tune of $150,000, then maybe you could start to get into that fine area. But you ain't there. You're nowhere. Nowhere with that. All right, here we go. They also said if I didn't hand over the product, they would call the county sheriff and detain us until they arrived to arrest us and search my house for the product. And they would most likely force us to show receipts for every magic card in the house, which is literally over 1 million cards. Nerd, he added. Again. Nope. This is a nice intimidation tactic. You cannot do that. What, they're going to detain you in your house? They're going to prevent you from leaving your house? That's another criminal act. That's another criminal act. I mean, it's amazing. Oh, God. I would press charge. Wait. Oh. I didn't realize this was Aragorn of the long dick. No wonder Arwen likes him. What the fuck is happening here? When did Aragorn turn black? Oh my God. Whenever Aragorn and Arwen wed, so that's them married together, I guess. Enters the battlefield or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. You gain 1 life for each other creature you control. There you go. Aragornatavius. They literally was kings. Oh. As of writing, Wizards of the Coast has yet to offer any further statement on the incident beyond their confirmation that they hired the Pinkertons, which that's enough for a conviction. Just nail him to the fucking wall. Wow. Wow. So there you go. I mean, this story is pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. You've got this company that has threatened someone who loves their product. They love Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering. They're a YouTuber. Spent 1 million cards. Literally 1 million cards. Spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on their product. Made them untold, uncalculable numbers by just free advertisement, right? And what does Wizards do? Well, let's send some thugs to their house and commit some crimes, boys. Let's go ahead and do that. Seems like a good plan. The Squid says the guy that ran the YouTube channel OMI in a Hellcat is the only person I've ever heard of getting criminally charged under copyright law. And that's because he pirated cable TV and streamed it to his website for like $15 a month. Yeah, highly illegal to do stuff like that. And that's the type of stuff, again, if it's a money-making scheme that is stealing from someone else, that is where it is highly unlawful. And when you get into that criminal act area and you're doing it, right? Like, you're stealing, you're intentionally stealing, you're taking the thing, you're putting it on a website, you're charging people something that you can't charge for. Is it federal, crossing state lines? Well, all copyright criminal acts are federal. You don't have to cross state lines. Now, Wizards of the Coast, I don't know where this guy lives, but, their act to him, likely a federal crime, but also a state crime. It just depends on where they wanted to go. Now, Wizards isn't going to get prosecuted for this. They shouldn't be above it, but they're not gonna. This little loser isn't gonna file any fucking reports or anything like that. Yes, thank you, Wizards, for taking my stuff that I paid for. Please, I hope you eventually reimburse me. Just fucking embarrassing. It's sad. It makes me angry. Like, I mean, some people deserve to be bullied, but that doesn't mean we like the bullies. And Wizards of the Coast has been absolute bitches lately. Absolute catastrophic bitches. So that's nice. All right. Well, anyway. I saw that today and I was like, okay. I mean, I got to talk about this in case other people run into some, because like occasionally you run into a weird issue. Now, the big issue for this guy is that he's the YouTuber, right? Which is how they found out in the first place. They would have never known. Some random box goes to a guy early. He gets the cards. He's like, cool. That'd be great. But this guy, he gets the cards like, oh shit. Go on YouTube. What he should have done, he should have recorded all the videos, uploaded them, had them wait for the release date, and fired them out at 12:01 a.m., right? On the release date. Just nailed it. That's when he should have done it. if he wanted to keep the YouTube videos up. He still would have gotten a jump on everybody. He could have even put like first review of these, these things. He could have done that right away. He would have gotten the jump on everybody, had the first thing out, because there's no way other people would have had the cards in hand to do it like he did. But hey, actually, I still think he has a strong argument that what he did was transformative fair use. They would not have a claim on him. But when it is unreleased, they do have a stronger case. So, and they can really fuck with your channel if they want to, because of the way the copyright system works. I mean, they could have taken him offline for several days while they get it resolved. And Boosh says, so they could have sent out a lot of these boxes by accident, right? They just know about him because of YouTube. Yeah. That's the point. Like, we have no idea how many boxes slipped out or whatever, but they know he had them because he broadcast to the world that he didn't, or that he did. So just amazing that this happened. More amazing that it goes beyond my conception to allow that kind of bullshit to happen. Like, that's, again, if these people showed up at my house, I would have just closed the fucking door, called the police. If they didn't, and tell them to leave. Leave my property. You have 3 minutes. I'm coming back with a gun, calling the police. There you go. Close the door. Lock the door. It's amazing.